Hello, this is an approximately 6 minutes video abstract about a paper that we published last year in Advanced Energy Materials. I'm Dieter Neher. I'm the corresponding author of this work. Charge carrier generation and recombination in organic solar cells involves mainly three excited states. This is the singlet exciton, the local singlet exciton, the interfacial charge transfer state, and the charge separated state. All of these states experience energetic broadening due to homogeneous and inhomogeneous processes. Now at VOC, the important point is that all carriers recombine again. There has been a debate whether carriers relax energetically before they recombine or whether recombination is throughout carriers. The answer to this is important because the kind of the process and thermalization of carriers will influence the open circuit voltage. In order to address this point, we studied two donor-acceptor combinations. One, the blend of PM6 with the well-known Y6, the other one of PM6 with N4, which has longer side chains than Y6. It has been shown that the blend with N4 exhibits larger structural disorder. And in fact, what we observe is, despite the fact that the N4 blend, shown in red, has a larger photovoltaic band gap and actually a smaller recombination coefficient, its VOC is substantially smaller. And that indeed hints at a different energetics. To understand the density of state distribution relevant for charge transport and recombination, we performed different temperature-dependent measurements. One here, shown here, is the temperature dependence of the space charge-limited Hone-only current in PM6Y6, while here we measured the carrier density at VOC as function of temperature and VOC. It turned out that the data can be consistently described. For PM6Y6, we found that both the LUMO and the HOMO exhibit a Gaussian disorder, while for N4, all the states are broadened, and in addition, for the HOMO, we have an exponential tail. So clearly, different structural order or disorder translates into different energetic order or disorder. With this information at hand, the next step was to model the experimental VOC as function of temperature, as shown here for the PM6Y6 and the PM6N4 with analytical models. One of those equations is shown here, which can be used as a high temperature limit for a system where both the LUMO and the HOMO experience Gaussian disorder, with sigma being the combined widths. An important property that has to enter here is the temperature dependence of the carrier density, and we got that from photo-induced absorption measurements. It turned out that we can indeed describe the VOC of both systems over the entire temperature range with such analytical equations. The important consequence is that carriers must equilibrate towards the tail of the density of state distributions before they recombine. Another important finding was that the carrier density actually increases with decreasing temperature, which implies that there is an energetic barrier towards recombination of free carriers. This led us to the shown state diagram of the PM6Y6 plants. Interestingly, the average energy of the density of state of the singlet exciton is quite similar to that of the charge-separated state. However, the singlet state is only little broadened. This value comes from literature, while the broadening of the charge-separated state is really substantial. This has two consequences. The first one is that there is indeed a driving force from the singlet through the free charge due to energetic disorder, and that the gain in energy is so large that it can overcome Coulomb binding. The second consequence is that carriers assemble far below the center of the density of state distribution, causing a significant voltage loss. We conclude that knowledge about the energetic disorder is very important to understand the VOC as function of temperature. That a smaller energetic disorder is beneficial in terms of a higher VOC, as for PM6Y6, and then that we actually have to search for donor acceptor systems with even smaller energetic disorder, because this will reduce the voltage loss. Thank you very much for your attention.